Hey everyone, Mrs. Rogstad here. This is video 8.7 and we are learning how to do multi-step factor label conversions. And so the objectives for this lesson are basically to use more than one conversion factor at a time in order to do a conversion and to figure out when it's necessary to use more than one conversion factor. Okay, so the question is why would we need to use multiple conversion factors? And the answer is very simple. You have memorized a certain number of conversion factors, such as 2.54 centimeters equals an inch. But you might be asked to convert something for which you don't know a conversion factor because you haven't memorized it, and you're not going to have access to Google for any of this. So if that case arises, you need to maybe use more than one conversion factor. So let's look at an example where this might come into play. So here you are asked to convert 53.5 centimeters into feet. And last I checked, I don't know any conversions directly from centimeters to feet. However, I can kind of think back, okay, what are all the conversion factors I know? And here's some that I do know. I know that 2.54 centimeters equals 1 inch. And I know that 12 inches equals 1 foot. And because these two conversion factors have a common link, right here we've got inches to inches. If this is the case, then you can use both conversion factors to make this calculation. So let me show you how it would be set up. So we're going to start the same way that you already know how. We're going to write the number that I'm given with units, 53.5 centimeters. And I'm going to draw my blank fraction right here, and then I'm going to fill in the top and bottom of this fraction with a conversion factor that I know. Okay, and by the way, I'm just going to square these off over here because these are the conversion factors. Okay, so I want to put in this place the conversion factor that contains centimeters, so it will cancel. So I'm going to put on the bottom here 2.54 centimeters and 1 inch at the top. So basically this conversion factor that I've squared off over here is going into this location right here. Now this is really cool. You can save a lot of time. You don't have to actually do the calculation yet. You can just put another conversion factor next to it, except this time I'm going to be going from inches, which is right here, to feet. And that is going to be this conversion factor. I do need to put inches on the bottom. 12 inches is 1 foot. And then I'm going to give that a good equal sign there. And I need to now check that my units cancel. Okay, so any unit that's both on the top and on the bottom is going to cancel. So I've got centimeters here, centimeters there. They get to cancel. Goodbye. I've got inches here, inches there, they get to cancel. The only unit that doesn't cancel is feet, but that's good, right? Because I want that in my answer. Okay, now the same rule applies as before. I'm going to multiply by every numerator and divide by every denominator. And to do this, I can do this directly in my calculator. All right, so I have my calculator here, and this is how I'm going to enter it. And it's really important the way you enter it in your calculator, because otherwise it won't work out right. So I think this is looking backwards on your screen, but I'll just say it out loud. So 53.5, and now because these other numbers that are on the bottom that are not 1, they're both on the bottom. So I have to hit divide by both times. So 53.5 divided by 2.54 divided by 12. Okay, and I just do that in one straight shot in the calculator and then equals. And that's going to be 1.76 approximately, 76 feet, and I did have to round that off. Okay, so I can help you with this as we are going through them. All right, here's another example, and in this example we're going to have to use a lot of conversion factors. So the question says, on your 14th birthday, and this is assuming this is like the minute of your birth, how many seconds have you lived? Okay, so we are going basically from years to seconds. And off the top of my head, I don't know any conversion factors from years to seconds, and Googling is not allowed. But I do know years to days, because there's 365 days in 1 year. That should be equals. And from days, I do know that 24 hours equals 1 day. And I do know from hours to seconds, because 3,600 seconds equals 1 hour. So let's see if this pathway actually works. So we're going from years to days, days to hours, and then hours to seconds. So this works. So I'm going to start my conversion factor, and I'm going to need a lot of space because I'm going to go all the way through and just do one calculation on the calculator. So 14 years, and then here's my first conversion factor, and this is going to be years to days. Years goes on the bottom. 365 days goes on the top. Okay, now I'm going to do the next one, just one right after the other. So days is on the top here, so days goes on the bottom down here. Days to hours, 24 hours is 1 day. But I'm not to seconds yet, so I'm going to keep going. Okay, hours goes on the bottom because it's on the top over here. Seconds goes on the top. 3,600 seconds equals 1 hour. Okay, I think I'm good. Let me just double check and make sure that all my units cancel. So years cancels with years, days cancels with days, hours cancels with hours, and I'm left with seconds, which is what I want because that's what the answer is asking for. And now I'm going to use my calculator, and all of these numbers are on the numerator, so I'm just going to multiply everything. You can ignore ones, because remember, anything that's multiplied or divided by 1 is just itself. On my calculator, I will write 14 times 365 times 24 times 3,600 equals, okay, wow, that's a big number. Okay, so on your 14th birthday at that moment, I'm just going to write down the number and then see where my commas go so I don't miss anything. And my pen is not cooperating with me this morning. Okay, so 441,504,000 seconds. That's a lot of seconds. But not that many if you think about it. All right, so that's all I have. There'll be practice work and then a mastery check, and have a great day.